It's time for the B-A-Q-A. The B-A-Q-A. What you say? The B-A-Q-A mandate. The B-A-Q-A Tiffany. The B-A-Q-A.
Hey.
You know what's so crazy?
What?
That I was able to rhyme everyone's name. It was like the B-A-Q-A. I think I was like with Meet Sete, and like we had Lacey, and we had like every week I was like, please let it work out.
You just got your Justin Timberlake on,
right? And then it was like Farnoosh Tarabe. So like everybody, I was able to make it work. Or so I was like,
glad we didn't have a Smith on or something.
I know.
Smith.
So Brown Ambition. Question and answer. Y'all know we do it every week. If you have questions that you need answers to, you can ask them at brownambitionpodcast.com. There's a contact us or ask us anything button there. Slide into our DMs on IG, Brown Ambition Podcast, Twitter, the BA Podcast. You can also email us. I know, whatever.
It's not Twitter anymore.
Ciao. And then also too, you can
hit us up on Threads. Are we on Threads yet?
I don't know. I know I'm on Threads, even though I'm not on Threads. So, I just secured my name. Or brownambitionpodcast@gmail.com. I told the people that man would be so happy. It only took me like 7.9 years to remember all of our ways. Remember, I used to be like, I don't remember none of the
But the fun thing about you, Tiff, is you do it the one week, and then the next week it's like
I'm gonna be like,
what are you doing? It's inconsistent.
It is,
but no, it's okay.
But remember too, we are not your financial advisor. We're not your doctor, your lawyer. We're just two really cute brown girls on the interwebs who are really smart and amazing.
But not your auntie.
Yeah, but we're not.
Call us your auntie.
But we're just here to give some advice that you're going to take with the smallest grain of salt and bring it back to the people that you pay for advice. So that's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Get your salt shakers out. Yes. So hey y'all, I'm Mandi and I'm back from that leave. And that means we're going to be digging into some career questions, and we have some juicy ones today, some interesting ones. I might need to be a little mean, a little bit. I don't know. Radical candor. That's what we'll call it. That's how you call being mean, right? Radical. This is like a Brene Brown quote. I don't know. Someone made it up who was super smart. Radical candor is what we're going to go for today. Got a question from someone who is really feeling not very confident in their job anymore. And then we're going to follow that up with a woman who's wanting to launch her own business and take her online doula business or her doula business into like an online space, which is really cool. So let's get into it. Number one, over 40. Okay, so they want to be called over 40 level of confidence. Hey. Longtime listener, first time emailer. I have been working for an engineer company as an unlicensed engineer for the last year and a half. I've been in and out of the industry over the last 15 years, each time starting at an entry level position. So I'm older and in an entry-level position again. And a few months ago, my supervisor went off on me and it really shook my confidence. I've gone to him and told him not to yell at me anymore or to perform on-site visits. The incident occurred during my training. However, since that time, I'm not getting anything right. I'm making mistakes all over the place. I'm going along to get along, but it only makes me feel worse. What are some exercises I can do to build my confidence again? Oh, this makes me sad.
Yeah.
But my first reaction is like, I'm kind of happy that your boss is paying attention, because engineering is all about accuracy, right? Mm-hmm. And being really attention to detail. I don't know what kind of engineer you do, but like if you're engineering an airplane that I'm going to get on, girl, then I would like you to not make mistakes either. It sounds like it's maybe not a realistic expectation for your boss to not do on-site visits, especially if you're training, like you're going to be getting that feedback. I think what's hard is that as someone who's got 15 years of experience, yes, you say off and on, you're probably coming into it with like an attitude of, I've been around the block. Like I do know some things. I'm more senior. I have more experience than these other juniors. So like, why are you picking on me? And I think you need to humble yourself if you're going to be in this position and recognize that you still may have things to learn from your supervisor in that space. And if it's shaken your confidence, I think the only exercise that will help you is to do your work well. And what do you need to do your work well is that feedback. Maybe your boss, like maybe you've taken it so personally now, like the feedback from them is going to continue to shake your confidence. But I'm going to need you to like find a mentor, find a colleague who's doing everything right, and watch them like a hawk. Even if they're 20 years younger than you, watch them like a hawk. Age is nothing when it comes to, I feel like, has nothing to do with whether you're capable of a job or not. But if they really understand what you guys are there to do and they're doing things really well, then follow them and see what they're doing right, and then try to emulate that. And I think it is just like, eat a slice of humble pie and recognize, okay, maybe I'm not in my area of strength here and I've got some learning to do. That's all I can think of. That was radical candor, and I hope that it didn't hurt your feelings.
I'll say this, that like, yeah, you're right in that one. They should not be yelling at you, because, we're all adults here, but correction is critical. Because to Mandy's point, I mean, in all things, but I don't know, you might be a mechanical engineer, maybe you're building bridges, maybe you're, whatever it is, you're wanting, your job is going to require a certain level of excellence. And so one of the best things to do is, to Mandy's point, is that one of the ways I had asked Dr. Green this once, my therapist, when I was feeling not as confident, and she was like, well, the best way to feel confident is to get good at the thing. So if there's something that you're working on, I know my sister's a mechanical engineer, and she would like literally on the side kind of learn new programs or take different classes to learn something new. So she felt really good about, here's my solid knowledge base. I can put it into practice, So I don't know if you're, are there classes, are there programs that you can order that, like, she literally used to just like buy these kind of like, programs on the side and just practice with them. I remember distinctly when she, like even my sister Tracy, when she was wanting to be a buyer, she like ordered kind of like these buying programs that she would just practice with. So that way, because she knew she was new to that industry, she had been in the financial industry up until then, so that way when she went to her interview, she can say, although, I've hadn't had this direct experience, I've got my master's in marketing, and these programs, I've been doing them, for the last year just on my own. And so are there ways you can lean in to skill sets that you're self-developing so you feel good about that,
That's a good point.
I mean, it is a tough space, but to me, delivering excellence breeds confidence,
Exactly. And it's like, but it's also, when you say that you've been in this off and on for 15 years, I'm almost wondering, are you dedicated to it enough to really invest that time? Mm-hmm. And what is it that's keeping you like going in and out? And I know your question is just about confidence, but like if you're wanting a career, like a real career in this field, to see some upward trajectory, I'm going to guess if you, even you've been in and out of it, you're not gaining skills or gaining a master of your craft to the point where you're going to be moving up. And I think you just got to like, forget about your age for a second. I find that your age being 40 is irrelevant. Honestly, it's just really about, do you want to be really good at this one job and bring value and be recognized and move up and get more opportunities? And the best way to do that is, like Tiff's saying, is to really invest in your skills, and grow. And, and of course, like, I would agree, yelling is not the best. I know you say they went off on you. I don't know what that means, but going to assume they weren't thrilled and they let you know it in front of probably some other people. But like, what is the benefit of sitting in that and just like letting that continue to get you down? Not very much. Like it's just better for you if you take it for what it's worth, take the criticism or the feedback, and then find ways to just prove them wrong, and to bring that excellence. And if they look over your shoulder more often because you made some mistakes early on, then that's sort of the price to pay when you lose that trust. But you can rebuild it, if you continue and you bring that excellence every day.
Yeah. And it's hard, this part is going to be hard just because you're in this weird space. But if slowly but surely you're like, you know what, I want to do this extra work at home. I'm going to figure this thing out. I'm going to ask questions to the people in my industry. I'm going to lean in and be like, hey, because I've certainly done that when I wasn't a great teacher. Like, I'd be like asking my friends who really were great teachers, like, so how do you do that? Can you look at my lesson plan? Can you take a, and so that way I could start to see what good looked like so I can emulate that. So good luck to you.
1,000%.
Over 40, confidence.
good luck to you. All right, let's take a quick break though and come back with our next question from a woman who is wanting to make her business more online, which is really exciting.
Yes.
Right back. All right, BA fan, we are back with another one of your BA QAs. This is from a listener who wants to be called just a brown girl trying to make it. Tiff, you want to read this one?
Girl, yes. Hello. First of all, I would like to say thank you for being the aunties I always wanted. Let me stop you there, sis. Here's the thing. Mandi is a whole 35, which, see, me, I'm gonna let you slide with that if you in your 20s. But unless you are under the age
early 20s
of 20. Unless you're under the age of 20, 35 is not your auntie. You have to have a teen in your number to maybe call Mandi auntie.
Yeah.
Right? Like I could see an 18-year-old be like, oh, that's my Aunt Mandi. Okay, we can let that slide because you got teen. Okay. But not nobody, because I remember I had this woman that used to call me auntie. And I'm like, sis, I'm 5 years older than you. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't have a 3 in front of your number and I got a 4 in front of mine and I'm your auntie. No. Don't do that. Yeah. Like we are peers at this moment in time.
It's not a sign of respect. Okay?
So we're teasing you, kidding, kind of. Back to the letter. You guys are amazing. I'm writing today because I have a business that has done pretty well. However, I'd like to grow my business by having a constant income. Okay. I am a birth worker / doula in Houston, Texas. I offer childbirth and lactation, education, birth support, and postpartum support. This is great. The bulk of my income comes from labor support. However, I want to grow my business where I don't have to rely on just having labor clients. I want to be able to offer webinars online and not just in person. Really smart. I'm not sure how to go about that. I also hear you talk about CRMs, which are, what does CRM stand for, Mandi?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, go ahead and Google. We'll go back
Customer retention marketing.
Yes. Basically, the
email. Oh my God.
The email system.
I want an award for remembering that. Woo-wee.
Like the email system, like Mad Mimi or what's another popular one that the girls like? Constant Contact. That's a CRM for those who are like, what's that? I also hear you talk about CRMs. Can someone like me even use a CRM? I'm not even sure what I could launch. I definitely want to move forward and allow my business to make abundance of money for me so I can live. So I can live my rich auntie life. I was like, all right, be careful there.
Just like us.
That's what she's trying to say. Should I hire a business coach? Who should I lean into to help me take my business to the next level? Because I know I need help and it has grown out of my comfort of knowing what to do next. Sincerely, just a brown girl trying to make it. Hey, niece. No, I'm just teasing.
No, you're a budding business. I love this question because I feel like there's so much potential for her.
Yeah.
Huge potential.
Well, first, let me just welcome you on into, y'all know I'll be coaching young brown girls in business over at mymentortiffany.com. Come on over because this is the type of thing that we would like, not that we talk a one-on-one, but, that I would either do a lesson on, which I definitely have about how to grow and scale, or, sometimes I do a Q&A. I do a live once a month where you get to like kind of lean in, learn a lesson, ask questions. I bring experts in. Like tonight, I mean, y'all are, you're listening to this too late, but tonight I'm having the assistant superintendent of the largest school district in Newark come to talk about how to build a curriculum that sells. So I'm excited about that. But I say all that to say that this is great. You are in the position that so many budding or new entrepreneurs find themselves in, and that is like pre-scale. So in the beginning, it's like me, myself, and I. That's what I got to the end. It's like, oh, it's me, Tiffany. I show up in the classroom. It's me, Tiffany. So you're asking to scale is to duplicate yourself or the process. And so that's where you are right now, which is really exciting to Mandi's point. And I love that you're already starting to realize, okay, I have options when it comes to scaling. And certainly one of them is online education. You could also do group coaching. You could do in-person group coaching. So when I scaled, I went from one-on-one, then I went from in-person still, but group, and then I went to larger audience. So for you, you might consider because I'm not going to lie, online courses people are getting a little exhausted by traditional online courses. That's what the word is. And we've seen it too. We've seen a little slowdown in business. I've also seen it with my friends who have online courses. And so, I don't know. I don't want you to like maybe take the full leap into online courses. Consider kind of maybe doing some one-offs. That's what I would see, just to test the market, to see if there's interest there of like teaching, like, hey, I'm going to teach this class. If it was me, I'd want to align myself with like mommy groups, like, pre-mommy boot groups, like especially first-time moms who are like, what can I expect? Like, are there groups in Houston, Texas that you can go and visit? Maybe they can hire you to come speak, or maybe you speak for free, and then from there you let them know I do this coaching on the side. So that's probably would be my next, before I jumped into building out a whole course and webinar or whatever, I would test my theory that there is an appetite for this by looking to maybe do some group things. So I'm assuming the labor stuff that you do is like you with one single mother, with one, not single mother, but one individual woman, So that's what I would ask myself. Is this possible for me to do this with a group? What does that look like? And so I would explore that before jumping out the window to create like a course or webinar or whatever. I personally love slow and steady wins the race type of growth. I know some people like to have explosive growth, which can be fun, but can also be overwhelming. And it's not always telling about whether or not that's something that can be sustained. And so I would be looking for what is the next step versus the next leap, and I think that, maybe in-person group coaching might be a nice step, and see if those people would be interested in something online with you, and then moving from there.
Yeah, I think that when you say you are a birthing coach / doula, and you also do lactation support, I feel like there is your audience is birthing humans, people who are giving birth. So you have such a wide audience. I mean, my feeling about online courses is, and I hear, Tiff, what you're saying about the like the waning interest in it. And I do feel like, I think that you could say about anything right now in the economy that we're in, people are just more tight with their dollars, and they want to be sure that they're spending money on something that is absolutely for them. And your key, the key hurdle you have to overcome when you are trying to pivot something online, or even just any business, is figuring out who's your core market, who's your audience, and creating an offer that it's completely apparent to them that this is exactly for me. And that was an exercise that I went through with my business, is making sure that I am speaking to her. I am speaking to the woman who goes on LinkedIn and, doesn't even want to look at her feed because she's sick of seeing everyone else post about new jobs or they just got a promotion. The person who's got 12 different versions of their resume and still can't land a job. I've thought deep and hard about the specific person that I'm speaking to. And for you, that, maybe you already know because you've been in business for a while, but Tiff's right. Like you want to get that focus group. You want to talk to women, people who give birth. What are they needing? What are they wanting? There's a whole market, I feel like, for support after the birth, like postpartum support, which you say that you offer. Yeah. And I was talking to a mom at my son's daycare, and she just bought a course on how to get her son to sleep through the night. And there's, and I was like, oh, did you do this one? And she's like, no, I did that one. There's a bunch of them out there, so there is definitely
appetite
a market for
yes.
Definitely an appetite. And I don't want you to get stuck on I think I have this idea. How could I get there? So that's where I'm like, yes, I agree. Some in-person coaching might be helpful, but I also feel like finding people who are potential competitors in your space, but let them show you that it's possible. If you find other people who are, they have lactation consultancies, and they have an online, component of what they teach, find other examples of people out there doing the thing that you want to do, not to make yourself feel like there's no space for you, but to make you feel like it's possible. Yes. And you can connect with them and learn from them and start, being and start growing your community of like-minded entrepreneurs as well. As far as the marketing side, I would say if you don't already have a way to capture emails from your clients, you have to get some sort of very basic. I think when we say CRM, we're probably talking about just an email platform. I use Flowdesk. You use the big one. What's it called?
Keep, but also Active Campaign is a good one.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, there's a bunch out there.
Well,
but
Infusionsoft is what used to be called Keep. That's the gold star. But it's expensive. So I tell people that's what you level up to later.
You really, I mean, it's like you can do a sign up sheet, you know, at your events, like just get their emails, write them down, or you can, there's a bunch of ways to capture email, but you want to find a way to speak to the people who are interested in working with you, because as you're going to build this business, you're going to want to be able to reach back out to them, you know, when it's 6 months from now and you've got something that you're launching. So a lead magnet could be something small for you to start with. Like, can you create the 10 lactation tips to save you from cracked nipples, you know, because ouch, right? No one wants a cracked nipple. It's as bad as it sounds. Okay. So if you have something that you can like package together and just like, and it's your area of expertise, so it shouldn't take you that long to create it, you know? Like for me, it's my 4 free scripts to ask for a raise. You know, I put that together and people download it for free and they give their email, and that's how we can stay in touch with them. But you can find some free like email software. Flowdesk is free. It's you know, I'm not affiliated with them in any other way than I use their product, but there are some, you know, just get the basic version of whatever you think you need to email these people. And you can always like grow with your tech. Like you can always get improved technology. Yeah, you can always like level up, but find something to start. And should you hire a business coach? Sorry.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. I forgot about that part. And I'll say this too, that I remember there's this woman who I met, this Black woman who had like this lactation snack business that's in Target where women, you know, it would help with their lactation. I thought that was great, but imagine partnering with organization, like, you know, things like that they don't do what you do, but the benefit is that like you can share their product. And so maybe you do some lives with them where it's like educational lives. And so one of the best ways to get people to see you as like the go-to is for them to see you as an expert because of what you teach and how you teach, you know? So just consider like that too, that you're not supposed to do it out here alone. Like, you know, partnership is critical.
Yeah. And where are you showing up and showing your excellence right now, and can people find you? So like, and you know, where are people discovering you? You have to be discovered outside of just your client base. So is that going to be social media? Is it going to be, like Tiff said, you can partner with like, I found a lactation consultant through my hospital. I found one through my prenatal yoga studio that I went to. You could do Zooms because I remember when I had my first son, I was stressed about breastfeeding, as most first-time moms are. Am I doing it right? Is he getting enough? You can't tell. And they had like this little group at my hospital, and I had to go in person, but you would sit in a room and just breastfeed together. And they'd like, but you could do that, a virtual version of that, you know, just to like get moms together, look at their latch and make sure it's right. Get them, you know,
I like that.
I just wanted to quickly say though, and we could do a whole series on this whole question, but about the business coach thing, when I had gotten my proof of concept with Mandi Moneymakers, when I did it, you know, quick. I did it like not dirty, but I didn't wait for it to be perfect. But like I did my focus grouping by doing the free career coaching. And then I launched what I thought was a good webinar to then launch my online course and my community, Mandi Moneymakers. And I did like 3 versions of that. And then I enrolled in a business coaching like a program, and it was like a group coaching program. So it wasn't like I had a dedicated business coach. I did get a couple of one-on-ones, but it was me taking their course on how to sort of do what you're talking about, which is, you know, really just like make your business, you know, bring in these different income streams online with your business. That's at that point when I hired the business coach and did their program. And I think that worked for me because you will get stuck in the beginning of any good program doing that work anyway, of like finding your perfect customer, working on your, you know, your marketing and your message. And I kind of done all of that work in advance. And I felt really ready to just like enroll in this and get the template and like the curriculum or the blueprint that I needed to, you know, create like a smooth running online business in that way. So, and the woman that I worked with, and I do not get any affiliate from her, anything like that, but that was, we had her as a guest on the show. Natalia Copeland is the coach that I worked with, Natalia Copeland, and her program is called the Fast Academy, FAST. So check her out.
But also check out my mentor, Tiffany.com.
Yes, that too. Much more affordable. $10 a month.
No, it's $20 a month now, which is still super affordable. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a good place to like baby tip your toe in. It's like, I call it like mentorship, but there's also a lot of peer to peer, which is really critical. I always say you should have mentors and sponsors. You have a handful of those. Way more peers, people who are in a similar spot than you can like bounce things off of, learn things from, and then mentees of your own, because it keeps your skills sharp, helping other people. So mentors, peers, mentees. It's just, that's like kind of like the grouping that I like to have, that I've seen create success for myself and others. So we wish you luck, girl. You know, cousin.
Don't give up. I feel like I'm excited for you. I want updates.
Yes.
Updates. All right, just a brown girl trying to make it. We forgive you for calling us aunties, and it's all good. And I think that's it for BAQA. If y'all want to send us your questions, again, you can hit us up on IG. We're at Brown Ambition Podcast, or go to our website, brownambitionpodcast.com, and ask us anything.
All right, bye. Bye, y'all. Until next week. Bye.
Bye. Hey, BA fam, we could not do this show without your support or the support of our team behind the scenes. The Brown Ambition podcast is produced by Imani Crosby, and Dennis Stemplinsky is our in-house tech guru. I am your co-host, Mandy Woodruff Santos, and we will see y'all next week, BA fam.